Febvre Stadium on the campus of Placer High School, Touchdown Productions, celebrating 19 seasons of local sports excellence, is proud to present the CIF Sac-Joaquin Section Les Schwab Tire Division III playoffs, all presented by Farmers Insurance. Tonight, in the opening round of the 2015 playoffs, your undefeated and PVL champion Placer Hillmen take on the River Valley Falcons. It's all right here tonight. The section title and all the football action begins right now. It's your NorCal game of the week.
The Placer Hillmen open up the 2015 Division III playoffs at home as the number 5 seed Placer take on the number 12 seed River Valley Falcons. Good evening, football fans, wherever you are across our worldwide audience. This is Steve Sitter, and alongside me tonight, my partner, Paul Brown. Our producer and director in the Commander 2 is Gilbert M. Dominguez, and he's joined by the rest of the Touchdown Productions sports team of Callahan King, Brian Wells, and Joan Lyons, who are here and in place for our first playoff game. Paul, the playoffs are finally here in the foothills.
They sure are, Steve. We've waited all year for the playoffs, and while it's been fun watching these Placer Hillmen dominate the regular season, it's time to get down to business of winning the section title.
Yeah, the Hillmen entered the playoffs as the number 5 seed, despite winning their 4th consecutive league title and going undefeated in the regular season.
And, you know, the Placer also moves up to Division III for the playoffs, Steve, which is unusual, while many of the other PVL teams will actually move down to Division IV. And that makes a huge difference in the seeding when you have to rank your program against teams like Oakdale and Central Catholic. But one thing for sure, Placer does not want tonight to be a repeat of their first-round loss last year when lower seed Rio Linda came into town and stole the game 62-51. Do you remember that game, Steve?
I do.
I do, too. Let's hope that doesn't happen again tonight.
Yeah, so we're moments away from the opening kickoff. When we return, we'll break down the final league standings, take a look at the playoff grids, and get an update on volleyball as well as we get set for the start of this big game here at Placer High. We've got the PVL champion Placer Hillmen getting ready to take on the River Valley Falcons. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Your car is one of the most important assets you own. And Reeby's Auto Parts is dedicated to helping you keep it in tip-top condition. Reeby's Auto Parts is a family-owned and operated business since 1956. We have a friendly and knowledgeable staff, and as a Napa Auto Parts dealer, you're sure to find the right part you need from either of our 2 Nevada County locations. You can always count on Reeby's to be there when you need us. It's Reeby's Auto Parts in Nevada City and Grass Valley.
And we're back here at Febvre Stadium. Steve Zitter, Paul Brown here, about ready to kick off the game. Steve, let's talk about the Placer Hillmen and about what we've seen previously this season. Here's our walk around the foothills. Placer, of course, going 10-0, a champagne season, as we call it. Very, very rare in football, very rare in any sport, especially in high school sports. Lincoln 3-2, 6-4 overall. Center 6-4. 7-3 for Bear River. We followed many of the Bear River games this year. And, of course, Foothill and Colfax rounding out the PVL. Placer clearly a dominant team.
And these are the Division III playoff grids. Number 5 Placer taking on number 12 River Valley. The winner of tonight will take on the winner of the Patterson-Yuba City game. And, you know, just how great would it be, Yuba City and River Valley, 2 big rivals from the Valley. Honestly, neither team expected to win. It should be Placer against Patterson next week, but you never know. This is the postseason, 1 game, and that's it. You're done. So anything could happen. And
Patterson, number 4 seed, if they were to lose tonight, Placer would have another home game, which would delight the fans here at Febvre Stadium next week.
Always nice to see playoff football here in the foothills. So let's take a look at the volleyball grids. Yesterday, Bear River taking on number 6 Escalon, and in a thrilling 5-set match managed to knock out the Escalon Lady Cougars. They will move on and face the number 2 seed Hilmar next Tuesday. Just an excellent game. Marty Mortensen and myself bringing you that on the touchdownproductions.com game of the week yesterday. Just a phenomenal game. Bear River extends their winning streak to 23 straight victories. Now you see that is the grid for Tuesday. Bear River traveling down to Hillmar. Hillmar handily defeating Calaveras, the 7 seed, yesterday. And that was just an electric game in the McCrory Gymnasium. Bear River came from behind down 2-1 to take sets 4 and 5. And of course you can see that on touchdownproductions.com. That is truly can't miss TV.
But tonight, Steve, we're going to see the Placer Hillmen and the River Valley Falcons. River Valley comes in here 8-2 overall for the season. And Placer, of course, as we just said, are 10-0. They are the Falcons as they come up the valley. And we can talk about the Hillmen. Steve, you and I have done a number of these games this year. I believe this is the 4th game we've done on Touchdown Productions. What we're going to see tonight is scripted in past games. We'll discuss as soon as we take a break.
Absolutely. We'll be back in 30 seconds as the band plays us off. You're watching the touchdownproductions.com game of the week.
Magnuson's Toyota and Scion is celebrating 25 years serving you in the foothills. Right now, Magnuson's carries the first all-electric SUV, and they're still the home of the Toyota Tundra. Magnuson's Dodge Chrysler Jeep is right down the street and features the new Ram diesel truck, Jeep Wranglers, and Grand Jeep Cherokee. It's Magnuson's Auburn Toyota and Magnuson's Dodge, both in Auburn.
Back at Febvre Stadium, Placer all set to take on River Valley. Looks like the teams are getting ready for the coin toss as the captains have assembled on their respective sidelines at the 50-yard line. And Paul, you alluded to the scripted offense of Placer. We've seen it all year. That wing T is devastating if applied correctly. And as you saw, 10-0, that's about as perfectly as you can do anything.
And you know, River Valley doesn't play Placer like many of the PVL teams do a number of times every year, so they're not accustomed to seeing the wing T. And it can be very, very deceptive for a team that isn't used to playing against that kind of offense. Placer, as we've seen, Steve, this year, we do have some totals from Max Prep. You can find these for maxprep.com. 3,481 rushing yards overall for Placer, 1,360 passing yards or receiving yards. And so they're primarily a running team. They're very strong on defense, I would say, and as you can see right out here, number 71, Jacob Copra, with his back to us, he is one of the offensive and defensive line players that really talk to what the strength of this Placer Hillmen team is. Their line is exceptional, and if they're on their game tonight, they'll be very difficult to score against by the Falcons.
Absolutely. River Valley, a much more balanced team. Quarterback Avery Gould has just about 3 or 4 targets that he likes to go to. Number 1 being JoJo Penn.
Here's the coin toss.
And it appears that Placer wins the toss. They will choose to defer.
Placer normally Coach Montoya, Joey Montoya, 7 years to coach for Placer. He is in the playoffs virtually every year. In fact, I can think of only one that he hasn't been in the playoffs, Steve. I'm not sure about that.
That's a winning pedigree right there.
I remember when he came into the league, turned this program around. It was not such a winning program, let's just put it that way. They have deferred, and they will kick off to start the game.
Relatively calm night. Slight wind.
Let's take a look at some stats for River Valley here, Steve. Passing-wise, they have 1,766 total yards passing this year. Rushing yards, 2880. There's Dave Humphreys, by gosh, on the sidelines. Good to see him, a past coach of the Nevada Union Miners. I wonder what Dave's here, except that he just loves high school football. I'd be here too.
And he's got the River Valley jacket on.
He does, doesn't he?
He does. He's down on the River Valley sideline.
There's a rumor brewing.
And it looks like we are all set for the national anthem. So we will step aside. When we come back, we will have postseason football here at Placer High School. You're watching the touchdownproductions.com game.
It's time to visit the newly remodeled B&C True Value Home and Garden Center. The new B&C has completely changed for your shopping convenience. Their new expanded garden center has everything you need, including expert advice on trees, shrubs, and perennials. Check out their new website and the new spring hours. And thank you for voting B&C the best hardware and building supply in 2012. So start right, start here at B&C True Value Home and Garden Center.
Placer Hillmen band playing the national anthem. And now the Placer fight song, which if the team has its way, we will hear over and over tonight as Placer consistently putting points on the board and, more importantly, keeping points off the board from their opponents.
Tonight we're joined by Nathan Thompson. Nathan, good to have you with us tonight.
Thank you, guys. It's nice to be here.
Nathan, you've seen the Placer team play before. What do you expect to see tonight?
Well, they're very physical, love to pass the ball, and especially with Waylon Kozad running the ball. They're just, overall, they're really hard to stop.
That they are. We saw it against Lincoln. Not really much of a defensive team, but Placer managed to put up 49 points. That is 7 touchdowns in 8 possessions. And more than that, they managed to hold Lincoln to just 1 touchdown. That is truly a difficult feat. Lincoln's offense was on fire pretty much all year, defeating Bear River in the final game of the season to lock second place in the PVL. Now we're all set for the kickoff. Deep kick. This one will be taken at the 5-yard line.
It's Clarence Pearson.
Cuts to the right. Nice tackle just shy of the 20-yard line.
And who's that there at the bottom of the pile? That's number 33. Tonight for Placer, Andrew Smith. Good start, Andrew.
So the Placer defense will take the field. They have pretty much had their way with every team. Not really too many close games this year for the Hillmen. Although River Valley has a more balanced offense. Just about 2-to-1 rushing yards to passing. Quarterback Avery Gould takes the snap from the shotgun. Handoff left side. And that's Dante Love. Love has all kinds of room. He'll get to the edge, and he is finally dragged down by Joe Robinson.
Wow, talk about setting an edge.
40-yard gain on the first play from scrimmage.
That was for the River Valley Falcons. That was number 45, Sam Van Dusen, set the edge. You can watch this on a playoff. Now watch this. There's all kinds of room because look at him set that edge right there. You do not want to let this guy, Dante Love, get out in the open field. He's fast.
On the Placer 40. Snap is fumbled, and it will be recovered by Placer. Brian Stanglin comes up with it.
Stanglin gets himself a freebie on the ground, and that's by virtue of Avery Gould, the quarterback, not catching the ball before he decides to move. Clearly the play was going to the right, turns his head before the ball gets to his hands, drops it, and the first turnover of the night goes to Placer.
Looked like a perfect snap. And Placer quickly to the line on their own 45-yard line. Marcus Ante steps up, dances around, and he will get dragged down at the line of scrimmage. Wesley Thomas on the tackle. I think he just stretched Marcus Ante's jersey from a large to a double XL.
Ante wanted to go long, I think, Steve. He was looking downfield. He had somebody, but they were covered. I believe it was Xavier Lovelace.
2nd and 10, handoff to Halbert. And Halbert's hit at the line. Ball comes loose.
Let's see who got that one.
Of course, everyone on River Valley pointing their direction.
But at the bottom of the pile.
And it is River Valley football. Both teams trade fumbles on their first possessions. River Valley dodges a bullet.
What do you think about that one, Nathan?
Well, it's kind of fun. That is definitely playoff football for you. Two hard-hitting teams going at each other, and that's 2 straight fumbles. That's not really a surprise. Those teams practice hard every day, and they hit harder than any other teams.
First play up the middle. This will be about a 5-yard gain. And let's see, fumble number 2.
It looked like a clean handoff, gets through the line of scrimmage, and right there it's stripped away. That was number 22 coming in. That's we've got Devontae, I beg your pardon, that was Ryan Topman.
So 2nd and 5 for the Falcons. Screen pass. That's caught by Penn. Penn gets an edge again, and he is off to the races. 1 man to beat. Wow. He is in.
Wow. Big play. JoJo Penn gets the ball in the flat on a simple screen play, gets a couple of nice ceiling blocks, and is gone for the first score of the night.
River Valley off to a fast start against the Hillmen, something that Placer is not really accustomed to this year, getting scored on with 9:57 left in the first quarter. And the kick is Juan Anguiano. Jack Rentz will be the holder. High kick, and that is good by about 35 yards.
So here's something, Steve, that we don't see very often, and that's that Placer Hillmen having to come from behind all season long. Usually they are the first ones to score, and usually they run this score up. But in this instance, we have a guy by the name of JoJo Penn that showed some agility and showed some speed getting into the end zone for the River Valley Falcons.
That play will officially go down as a rushing touchdown, as the pass was backwards, technically a lateral. And Placer a little slow to get on the field after River Valley scores on just 1 play from scrimmage after the Placer fumble.
But I got to tell you, in a big prize fight, sometimes you got to take one to the jaw before you wake up.
As
and I think the Hillmen have just got their wake-up call.
Placer Title Company scoreboard, River Valley Falcons up 7-0. Long kick will be caught about a foot into the Placer end zone. Placer will take over on their own 20.
That was number 3 out there, Joe Robinson, to take the kick. Placer will come on the field. 9:57 on the first quarter clock.
Hand off right side, Owen Scott. Scott hit in the backfield. He will scramble forward maybe half a yard.
Good penetration by the Falcon line. They were moving down the line of scrimmage and penetrating. Scott never had a chance to turn his body upfield.
After the play,
Falcons.
Kyle Williams and Logan Moore got kind of tangled up. Ante back to pass, again covered, he's hitting the backfield, scrambles up and he'll lose a couple yards. There is a flag late. This could be really anything where that flag was thrown.
Nathan, as I look downfield, every single man-to-man receiver was covered.
Yeah, this defense, I haven't seen many tight defenses like this. They are on every man possible, and their line is penetrating the Placer offensive line pretty well so far.
Yeah, with that combination, they're not only getting getting a rush, but they were on their men, man on man, and they were up to the line of scrimmage too, Steve. That's why Ante's looking downfield and finding nothing.
Well, the call is going to be a hold against Placer, which will be declined. It'll bring up 3rd and 12. And that is an interesting decision, as that penalty would have pushed Placer back 10 yards. It would have been 2nd and about 22.
You know, I find that funny, Steve. Some teams really like that loss of downs.
There's a late handoff. River Valley not fooled. Although apparently I was, as that was a handoff to Scott. And Scott gets the first down. Wow, what a play.
Yeah, Scott got lucky also, getting some room on the left side.
My apologies to all the Owen Scott friends and family out there, as that was an excellent run. And I was busy looking at the misdirection. That's what the wing tee can do to not only a defensive line, but also a sportscaster. 9 minutes left, 1st and 10 for Placer. And there are no flags. This is going to be a timeout, it looks like. Although neither team's coming off the field. Well, it looks like there is a flag somewhere. It'll be
an offsides.
Offsides.
Yeah, offside is on the Falcons.
Did you see a flag thrown or just whistles there, Paul?
I don't see. No, Laundry was on the far side over there, Steve. It's in the tumble dry cycle, so he's picking it up.
1st and 5 for the Hillmen. This time it is an inside handoff. That's Jared Halbert. Halbert brought down hard, very near the first down marker. And depending on the spot, this could be first down or not. And they're going to move the chains. First down, Placer.
So Placer getting a little momentum going here, finding that smash mouth football works for them on their home field. Nothing fancy, just right up the gut.
1st and 10, delayed handoff to Kozad. Kozad gets a little room. Hard tackle, but not before a gain of 7.
Kozad has been getting more and more of the carries. Early on in the season, we watched Owen Scott pretty much take all the snaps, if you recall, in those first couple of games. And Kozad, very strong runner. Not the breakaway speed that Scott has, but I think a little stronger, a little more power.
And now we have some flags thrown. Referees will talk about this one. Placer looks to be moving backwards.
In the backfield, we'll also see Jared Halbert, and Halbert had himself one great big game the last time we saw Placer play. I believe that was against Bear River.
The penalty is against Placer, as it will be offsides against them. 2nd and 9, the situation. Man in motion is Scott. Scott gets the handoff on the right side. They'll try and get to the edge, and he is hit out of bounds for a short gain, maybe 2. So it brings up another long 3rd down for the Hillmen. Oh, how fast is that River Valley secondary?
They are on the ball in a heartbeat, aren't they, Nathan?
Yeah, they are. I haven't seen, man, this lead that they're in is incredible with the talent. They have no room to run so far.
They're 4th ranked in their league, and so they're not even the best team. But as we mentioned earlier, this is Division III football, and we're used to watching Division IV.
It's doubly impressive. River Valley and Yuba City High, as Owen Scott takes another outside handoff, and this time he manages to juke his way for a big gain. They will cross the River Valley 40, another first down for Placer.
About the time they think that they're down and about ready to get a punt out of Placer. Here's the replay. Here's Scott again. Now right here, let's watch an excellent block here. Leading the way, that's number 52, Diego Lopez, and Lopez puts him on his back.
And he rolls left. Has some room. He might think about taking this himself, and he does. He will run out of bounds, gain about 5. So the point I was making, River Valley and Yuba City are really bitter rivals because they're so close to each other, especially in the athletics. They tend to take each other's players. It's not uncommon because River Valley, a very new school in the area. Yuba City used to dominate every sport, and now River Valley and Yuba City still dominate every sport. They just have about half the talent that they usually would. Quick handoff to Kozad. Kozad up the middle, and he will be short by a couple yards. And there is an injured Falcon down in the backfield. Looks like it might be a head injury.
Oh, let's not say that.
Well, the way the trainer and the coach ran out on the field, that was with some urgency.
That was a typical Kozad run up the left side. We'll go to Steve Sitter.
Yeah, it looks like both teams are going to clear the field. This definitely looks like a head injury, so we'll step aside while we get this figured out, who's down on the field for the Falcons. You're watching the TouchdownProductions.com Game of the Week.
Anything Green Hydroponics is your source for hydro systems, grow lights, and soils. Anything Green offers a complete range of organic nutrients as well as fungicides, miticides, and predatory bugs. Anything Green Hydroponics has just received this year's soil. Get your totes, pallets, or individual bags. Stay tuned for future workshops. It's all at Anything Green Hydroponics.
Back at Febvre Stadium, the injured Falcon is number 22, Ryan Totman. And this definitely looks like it is either a head or a neck injury. They have his helmet removed, which they did very gingerly. The paramedics are now on the field taking a look at him. And especially in high school football, but really at all levels, all organizations, leagues, teams are very aware and always err on the side of caution when it comes to these head injuries, because we have seen how devastating they can be, not only in the long run, 20, 30 years down the road, but even short term. And it would not surprise me at all if, even if he is, conscious and coherent and able to move around, that he will probably get a neck brace on and be stretchered out of here. Just because you would hate for this to be more of a tragedy than just the end of a season.
They are covering him up.
Brisk night here at Febvre Stadium.
Yeah, let's hope it's just precautionary. He does appear to be conscious, but they are bringing out a stretcher, I believe.
And blankets. Now, Ryan Totman is, we've already called his name before. He's already made his presence felt early in the game. So while we get this dealt with and go back to football mode after this stop in the action, we'll step aside here on the TouchdownProductions.com Game of the Week.
We're at SPD Market in Nevada City asking people what they like about SPD.
I've been shopping here for about 20 years, and the people are very courteous, and I especially like the meat counter. It's nice. You have a great selection, very helpful.
Because it's local, it's small, they have wonderful selections of things I need, and the personnel are very nice.
And that's why people love SPD Markets in Nevada City and Grass Valley.
Back at Febvre Stadium, number 22 for the River Valley Falcons, Ryan Totman, just stretchered off the field under what we believe is a leg injury, possibly a knee injury. So Placer facing 3rd and 4, and right ahead is Jared Halbert. Halbert breaks through, and on the first play after the break, gets a Placer touchdown.
Jared Halbert, we'd mentioned him earlier, a very quick bat to hit the line, and after he gets past that line of scrimmage, gets a little daylight, it's hard to catch him. They kind of took advantage of the fact that there'd been a pause, and immediately they went to the line of scrimmage, and they just fired off a play, and it opened wide up.
Oh, that's the Placer offense right there. They don't like to waste time. Point after is up, and very good. So just like that, after a pretty long break in the action, one play, Jared Halbert, tie game 7-7. 7:02 left in the first quarter. Wow.
And there is the fight song played after every single score here at Febvre Stadium. Just what the doctor ordered for the Placer Hillmen. They need to get on the board. Steve, I'm thinking this game's going to be in the 50s. And
Yeah,
I'm not talking about one team.
No, I certainly would have picked the over for this game as well, especially looking at the records coming in, the different state rankings, and especially total yards. Both these teams are used to getting first downs. Andreas Prieto will kick it off from the 40. Another good kick. This one will be caught at the 8-yard line, bobbled a bit. That's Clarence Pearson. Pearson does have some room. He's going to try and get to the sideline. Waits for his blockers, cuts back, and is finally tripped up at the 36-yard line.
Wow, Pearson is an elegant runner, Steve. Just very fluid in motion. Looked for his opening and finally found what he wanted. Just getting a hand on him. I think that was number 33 for the Hillmen, Andrew Smith.
Smith is always out there on defense. Likes to make those big tackles. And as we get the sticks set up on the River Valley sideline, referees are going to take a timeout just to make sure. And now they get a River Valley football out on the field and clear out the Placer kicking football.
Avery Gould, quarterback, bringing the play in from the sideline.
Placer with only 3 plays from scrimmage. 2 big gainers on the ground and 1 fumble. This is another handoff almost broken up. And that is a good 5-yard gain by Dante Love.
Wow, they better get a body on Dante. He gets there quick. They ain't going to arm tackle that guy.
Good penetration by the Hillmen. They got in the backfield, just couldn't wrap him up. And the River Valley offensive line just pushed forward. 2nd and 4. Man in motion, it's Love. Love gets the handoff. Trying to get to the edge and is tackled. That's Logan Crawford. He will bring him down for a 1-yard loss.
Crawford coming from his weak side linebacker position all the way across the field. Good pursuit by Logan.
Oh, a 3rd down play for River Valley. Just under 6 minutes left, just halfway through the first quarter. We've already had 2 turnovers, an injury, and 2 touchdowns. 3rd down play. Gould throws on the run, and that is almost picked off. Everyone's still fighting for it, and that's going to be a complete pass to JoJo Penn. 1st down, River Valley.
That was cool. Both players really went for the ball aggressively, and that was a push and shove to see who took control of that. JoJo finally came up with it.
That was an NFL-type play.
It really was.
Quarterback throws on the run. Great defense, but an even better catch. 1st down, Falcons. Fake handoff, give to Penn. Penn hit at the line and will be wrapped up just for a 1-yard gain. Placer's defense apparently woke up and probably got a little rejuvenation from that long break.
I was just about ready to say, Steve, it looks like they've stepped it up a notch. They know that they're playing against a team that is very fast. They can play at this level.
Haney will come in as a late sub for Dalen Trentman. 2nd and 9 for the Falcons. Fake, rolls left, throws a wobbler, and that is way behind the intended receiver, JoJo Penn. Penn was looking for a face guarding flag against Joe Robinson, but there is no laundry on the field. Brings up 3rd and 9.
Robinson, I think, got away with one there, Steve. Watch the replay on this. He's got his hands all over him here. I like the way he throws the ball, though.
Kind of a wobbler.
Yep. But look, he's got his hands on him.
He did turn around late. I think you're right. Robinson may have gotten away with one there. Doesn't matter what league you're in, face guarding is still pass interference. So 3rd and 9, 3 wide receivers. Gould will step up. Flushed out. And he will get across the first down line. Nice scramble by Avery Gould to convert. No, they're going to mark him a yard short.
So it'll be 3rd and a foot, it looks like, it's a long way across the field, but it looks like it's going to definitely be 4th down. But
that's the signal. They're not even going to call the chains out.
4th down.
There's no sign of a punt unit.
Well, Placer hasn't held them for a loss yet. I don't imagine.
One play they did. I formation. Straight handoff to Love. Love hit at the line, but he does get across. Just a 1.5 yard gain, but that was all River Valley needs for a 4th down conversion. So they keep this drive alive at 4:27 remaining in the first quarter. Another I formation. Another handoff to Love. Love plows his way over the line. Gets about 3 yards. And that's about as straightforward a run play as you can see.
Yeah, they're just smash mouth footballing it right now. None to the outside in a couple plays. And they've only passed it a couple of times. A lot of it's just been run, but they seem to be quite successful at it, so might as well keep going back at it.
Those big gainers were outside handoffs. Gould rolls left, trying to step up. Nice screen pass and just out of the hands of Dante Love. Hot on his trail was Derek Haney and also Taylor Levesque, 2 names we are quite accustomed to calling on the defensive end of the ball. Brings up another long 3rd down.
I think Love was the release valve there at that time. There was nothing open long, and he tried to just dump it off to Love, who was coming across the field.
And great coverage by the linebacker to not give up on Love as just a blocker, to stay with him. And River Valley's got another 3rd down play. Placer brings tons of heat. Love stays up. He keeps his feet. He breaks loose, and he is in for a touchdown.
Wow.
That was some kind of play. Love looked like he was stopped at the line of scrimmage. Then it looked like he was stopped 5 yards beyond the line of scrimmage. Then just uses his strength to get away. Score the 2nd time tonight here for the Falcons.
And strength was all that was. Again, really nothing to that play, just a straight ahead handoff. Placer brought the kitchen sink. And unfortunately, that just left the safeties to kind of clean up the mess, and they were unable to do it. Kick is up and good. So River Valley takes a 14-7 lead. And not quite as dramatic a fashion as Placer on the previous possession, but the same result. Both teams with a fumble each, and all the rest are touchdowns.
Let's watch the replay on this here. I'll be interested to see how this goes. Watch, he gets hit right here at the line of scrimmage. Bottled up, stays on his feet, and then gets the momentum, and then some breakaway speed, showing off the speed. Runs to the cone.
Placer did everything but bring him to the ground. Placer Title Company scoreboard, River Valley on top 14-7. 3:22 left in the first quarter. Spinning kick. This one will be returned at the 5-yard line. I believe that's Joe Robinson. Robinson cuts to the left side, and he will be brought down at the 26-yard line.
So the lonely man on both teams is the punter. So far, we haven't had one. 3 minutes left in the first quarter. Both teams have scored on either scored or coughed the football up on every possession.
And in each case, it was on the second play from scrimmage on their possession.
Yeah, that's a good point, Paul. I don't expect them to punt too much with these high-powered offenses.
Right side handoff to Scott. Scott gets a little bit of room. He will plow his way forward for about 7 yards. Scott finally getting some running room as he was pretty bottled up in the first couple of possessions.
Nice hole opened up by Logan Moore that time on the right side. His parents are sitting right down below us. Jeff Moore.
2nd and 3 for the Hillmen. Quick handoff to Halbert. Halbert hit immediately. Just a 1 yard gain. That'll set up 3rd and 3.
This is the kind of football game that you want to maintain the long drives, keeping the ball away from a volatile offense.
And wearing out the defense. Bit of a fumbled snap.
He's going to get some
Scott.
room.
And Scott has all the room. He's down to the 40, the 30, the 20. There is no one out in front of him. Touchdown, Owen Scott.
Wow, when Owen Scott turns the corner, he can light it up. And that, speaking of light it up, the fans here on the Placer sideline are on their feet. We've seen Owen Scott do that all year long, Steve, and nice hole opened up over the right side. I'm looking forward to seeing the replay. No one touched him.
Talk about turning on the Jets. He just took it to the house.
And you have to wonder, take a look at the first 2 or 3 possessions from Placer, the first 2 or 3 plays. River Valley's defense was all over the backfield. They stopped up every hole.
Okay,
Not anymore.
Let's take a look at the replay here. On the right side, that is Logan Moore, number 55. He sets the block on the right side, but look, there's just nobody there. The hole is wide open. Gil, if you could run that back one more time, we'll take another look again. There was, we did see big Jacob Capra, number 71. No doubt he had something to do to influence the blocks on that right side. 14-14. Placer Title Company scoreboard.
That was a huge block to seal the end. Wow. 14-14, 2:07 left in the first quarter.
It was kind of shocking. Just all of a sudden, this massive crater on the right side just opens up and Scott goes through untouched. Just didn't expect it.
There's the kick by Prieto. Bit of a sideways kick. That's caught at the 10. That's Love. Love will kick to the right side, wait for his block, spins away from one hit, but will be brought down at the 25-yard line. Love not really,
one more time here.
Not really running too hard on that return.
Now you can see number 55, there's Logan Moore, and then you see number 71 right there. That's a big block as well, but they're just clearing them out. Who is number 6? Also number 6
Waylon
coming over.
Kozad.
Kozad had a big block on the inside linebacker. Everybody doing their job on the Placer offense that time.
As we return to live action, River Valley will start their possession on the 25-yard line. Steps up to pass, rolls right. And he slips. He slips and is brought down. Logan Crawford on the pursuit. Will get credit for that sack. But really, Avery Gould was about to throw that ball away, and his feet came out from under him.
Crawford, though, had a lot to do with it. Wouldn't you say, Nathan?
Yeah, he pressured him from the backside, and the quarterback tried to cut back, but was going to find nowhere to go, and then Crawford just pretty much ended that. He had no room.
That's an 11-yard sack for Logan Crawford. 2nd and 21. 3 wide on the far side, and this will be a handoff to Love. Love trying to go left side and is brought down. Gain of about 5.
Michael Ferreira in there, number 10. They're figuring him out. They're going low. They're tackling now low. And you're going to have to get down knock the legs out from underneath that guy. You're not going to arm tackle him high. Look at that. See their hits? Ferreira, number 10, getting in there.
Love is listed as 5'11", 170. So not a big guy. Third and 15 from deep in their own territory. Gould steps up, throws deep, and that is just a bit too deep, intended for Kyle Williams.
Boy, Williams was there if they could get the ball to him.
Gould stepped up. He had really no one in his face. Looked very composed when he released the ball. Just released it a couple yards high.
So out comes the punter for the first time tonight.
I don't even know who that would be. They don't have one listed.
Looks like it's going to be number 11.
That's wide receiver Kyle Williams, who was the intended target of the previous pass. Couple of Hillmen back to receive. It'll be a rugby-style kick and a good one.
Real good.
Yeah, that'll be caught by Xavier Lovelace at the 40. He's got some room to run. He gets to the edge, crosses midfield, down to the 30 before he's wrapped up. Excellent field position for the Hillmen.
Best return we've seen from Xavier all season long.
Don't see too many punt returns in high school football. That was about 40 yards. Well, I'll call it 28. That return does not need to be pumped up anymore. That was an excellent return. 13 seconds remaining in the first quarter. End around handoff to Kozad. Kozad gets back to the line of scrimmage, but not much else. And that will wrap up, finally, the first quarter of football here at Lefevre. No, a penalty. A penalty, late whistles with 2 seconds remaining. This is just the third penalty tonight.
That's pretty remarkable.
Well, the referees are conferring.
And now the head linesman's coming over to talk to Coach Montoya.
I mean, a run with no gain. I can't imagine there's a penalty he would decline. Let's go ahead and see what the signal is. It's like after the play, unsportsmanlike conduct against Placer. So this might be something that was said after the play. More than likely, I didn't see any pushing and shoving afterwards. That just looked like a clean run. Good tackle by River Valley, but I didn't see anything else. And that looks like Waylon Kozad, who is getting a talking to on the side of the field. So now the clock will run 2-1-0. So just a 15-yard penalty before we're allowed to go to the second quarter. You know, in this football game, why not? Friday the 13th, just expect the unexpected. There's the Placer Title Company scoreboard. The end of the first quarter finally comes to an end. 14-all here at Placer High School. Placer facing a long second down to start the second quarter here on the TouchdownProductions.com Game of the Week. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Welcome to Plaza Tire and Automotive Service in Grass Valley. At Plaza Tire and Automotive Service, the customer comes first. We only do what's right for the customer, not necessarily what's right for business. Third generation family member, learned all that I know from my Grandpa Fred, my dad, my Uncle Mike, my grandma. My entire family's been a huge part of learning about the automotive industry. Grass Valley is our fourth location, and you can also find us in Colfax, Penn Valley, and Nevada City. I am Blake Hauser, and I welcome you to join us for the grand opening at our Grass Valley location.
Back at Lefevre Stadium, 14-all, as you can see on the Placer Title Company scoreboard. Placer facing a 2nd and 25 after a 15-yard unsportsmanlike conduct on the last play of the first quarter. And really the most adversity that Placer has had tonight. So 12 minutes to go in the first half of football, 14-all. Neither team really giving up much of anything. And Ante will step up. Still nowhere to go deep. He's just going to have to throw this ball away, and he does not. He chooses to get sacked by Stephen Hayes. That was not a good decision by Marcus Ante. You just have to launch that into the sidelines at that point. So now instead of second and 25, you're facing third and, shoot, let me count this out.
Well, let's put it this way. It's still on the football field somewhere.
36.
36 yards.
Third and 36.
I'm not sure what Ante was thinking. Or clearly he wasn't, because all he needed to do was just throw the ball down on the ground.
Just get it past the line of scrimmage. That's all. That is all he needed. And he got tracked down by Stephen Hayes, a junior lineman for the Falcons.
So they'll clearly put the ball in the air.
Ante steps up. He goes very deep, and he has a man. That's Joe Robinson, and just overthrows him.
Robinson had to make an adjustment for the ball. He saw the ball in the air. He needed to keep his stride, and it would have hit him right in the hands, but he made a bit of an adjustment, and it went long.
And how about the arm on Ante?
Wow.
He must have thrown that ball 55 yards through the air.
He kind of slings the ball. He's a sling thrower, I like to call him. Look at the way he just kind of lets that thing go.
Mike.
Some of the greater quarterbacks in the NFL have been sling throwers. And look at this, that ball, if he had just kept the stride, it was just beyond his fingertips.
So both teams trade fumbles in the first quarter. They trade punts now in the second. Good snap, no rush. And this will be a topspin kick. Takes a Placer bounce. Fielded. Still standing as Clarence Pearson. Pearson brought down eventually. There he goes.
Wow, Pearson just did not want to go down.
And that was a heck of a lot of work for about a 1-yard return. For perspective, that was a pretty good punt. Took a pretty good Placer bounce. Was about 2 yards shy of the first down line. So River Valley takes over on their own 25-yard line. 14 all in the second quarter.
All by himself out here to the left is wide receiver Garcia.
This will be a handoff to Love. Love brought down right around the line of scrimmage, maybe got a yard. Placer's run defense really tightened up. They're not letting Love get much of a head of steam. And the secondary is doing a good job of filling up the holes that the line opens up. Second and 9 for the Falcons. 3 wide on the far side. This will be another screen pass to JoJo Penn. Penn gets to the outside, and he is brought down after a gain of 14.
That's the same play that Penn scored on earlier in the first quarter. Got some good blocking by his wide receivers and the slot back.
And this is just a personal observation. I've noticed that whenever a team has 3 wide receivers on the same side of the field, it is always either a run to the opposite side or a screen pass. I've never seen any other play call. Falcons in the I formation. Hand off to Love. Love tries to get to the outside, and he's brought down at the line of scrimmage.
Taylor Levesque, number 44, darting in, getting Love by the ankles.
And he really just tripped him up, kept him off balance long enough for help to arrive. And that's what Placer has to do. They have to gang tackle. Not a lot of one-on-one tackling going on tonight. Second and 10, 9 minutes remaining in the first half. There's 3 wide receivers. And it is another screen pass, this time to Penn. This time Penn runs away from Ryan Houston and now is tripped up. Just a 1-yard gain.
Michael Fiera again. Everybody on this Placer defense is carrying their load. We're not seeing any one defender getting a lot of tackles. This whole unit is responsible for their position, and they're being Hicks.
Yeah, I can think of a few guys on defense whose name we've called more than once already in this game. 3rd and 10 for the Falcons. Fake the handoff, pulls up, throws a line drive up the middle, caught! That's JoJo Penn. Penn's off to the races, and he is going to score yet again.
What an athlete, JoJo Penn.
And we have a player down.
Oh, he looks to be
not moving.
No.
And I saw that collision. He was absolutely belted.
I don't think he saw that hit coming.
He's moving his hands, so he is conscious out there, but it was a collision. JoJo Penn took that ball in the middle of the field on a crossing pattern.
And River Valley's kick unit is not even on the field.
Let's take a look at the replay. Maybe we can find out who this man that's down is.
You'll see it right away on the catch.
Penn is in the middle of the field. This is a field level view. The ball was tipped, Steve, and right there, bang, he hit Penn.
I think that's Taylor Levesque. I'm pretty sure that's Taylor Levesque. It is.
You can see the way his body just went limp. It was completely contorted.
He's up.
And actually, he looks like he's in pretty good shape.
I think it really was just that he didn't see the hit coming. He was going for the interception and didn't realize that there was a JoJo Penn in front of him. More than likely just knocked the wind out of him and really stunned him more than anything, because he was completely immobile, which is not usually a good sign, but he's up and walking. He's moving his head around. He's in good shape.
They'll let him have a seat here. Wouldn't surprise me he'll come back into the football game. In the meantime, we'll have the extra point, Steve. And then we'll see the touchdown again, I'm told, by our producer, Gil Dominguez.
Yeah, let's not downplay that touchdown. JoJo Penn caught that, got rocked by a defender that he probably didn't see, and still managed to keep his composure, get into the end zone.
Really?
Kick is up and good. As the score goes up to 21-14, let's take a look at the Placer Title Company scoreboard. First of all, 21-14, River Valley scores first in the first. They score first in the second.
And here it is again one more time. Great camera work by the field operator. Little nick on the football, but look at Penn. Go back and get it. Keep his feet. And then an excellent block downfield by one of the wide receivers. What an athlete.
And Chris McDonald thought he had JoJo Penn corralled. And Penn just flat out beat McDonald to the sideline.
Well, here at Febvre Stadium, Placer Stadium, we showed up tonight looking for a football game, and we are not disappointed so far.
There's the kickoff, another deep kick. This will be caught at the 7 on a run by Joe Robinson. Robinson gets to the sideline. He has tons of room. One man to beat. Hops over him, and a nice tackle across midfield. That was number 4, Jack Rentz for River Valley, who finally managed to take down Robinson, but not before Robinson gets all the way to the River Valley 40.
What do you think, Nathan?
Yeah, he had a burst of speed coming down the right side of the field, and he was not going to be stopped until the number 11 for...
Here's the replay, and we'll get a chance to see it here right after this. Play from...
There's a handoff left side.
Scrimmage.
That's Waylon Kozad. Kozad's got a hole. He's going to plow his way across the 30 for a first down.
Mike, here is the return again. Now watch him set up his blockers. You'll see a whole fence of blockers right there. Looking for someone to block here. He's got one man to beat. That's the kicker. He needed to make a little more of an inside move. Gave the defense a chance to catch up.
Back to live action. Quick inside handoff to Jared Halbert. Halbert will be good for about 4. We'll bring up 2nd and 6.
You know, Steve, this game is sizing up to be the last team with the ball is going to win. Both teams not giving up too much in the way of defense.
Now, if you line up the possession results, they are exactly equal. 2nd and 6. Late end around handoff, and wide open is Kozad. Kozad gets to the outside, keeps his feet, and he is across the 10.
Boy, the inside linebackers all went for the first ball fake. Kozad found himself with some room on the left.
And Placer's got 1st and goal on the 7. River Valley's defense looked great on the first 2 or 3 plays Placer had.
Here.
Well, here's another handoff.
Kozad's going to make it in. He's
going to slip. He slipped at the 5.
Right at the 5. And it looks like he fell forward, Steve, to maybe the 2. Here's the previous play. Watch Kozad. Again, great outside blocking. A lot of green jerseys. Putting a block on the Falcons. Kozad not able to finish it, though. But maybe he can now.
2nd and goal on the 2. That's a handoff to Halbert. Halbert swings across, and he is short by about half a yard.
It's a nice tackle by number 75.
Jack Farley.
Yeah, that was a great stop.
3rd and goal on the 1. You have to believe Placer's going to go for it on 4th if it comes to it.
Oh, of course.
Halbert. Halbert hit. Halbert is in.
And once again, the score is tied. Placer on the back of Kozad and Halbert march down the field. 5:39 still on the clock in the first half. Steve, this is nothing short of just good playoff football.
And once again, the possessions mirror each other. Good snap, good kick. What more can you say? These are two very powerful teams. And really, I think it's whichever team can wear down the defense first.
These are the kind of games that you remember when you moved on from football and you're an adult. You remember teams that really challenged you. The guy across from you was as good as you. You fought hard. There's our scoreboard. But this is what playoff football is supposed to be about. 2 winners coming up heads up. And here's the touchdown. Halbert just barely makes it in. Stretches and then stands up after he finishes.
And the Placer Title Company scoreboard, really, that's an excellent representation of the way this game is going. 2 very evenly matched teams. And Andreas Prieto, he's not kicking it like we've seen him. We're used to seeing him put it in the end zone over and over again. He has yet to get one that deep. And a line drive knuckleball of a kick, and that will squirt its way into the end zone. That was not the way I was picturing it, but it seems to work out all right for Placer. And remember, you can become a member of TouchdownProductions.com, your source for community television since 1997. Just head to the website and sign up today. Nothing more important than supporting local sports television. Now 1st and 10 for River Valley. They'll take over on their own 20-yard line. Score knotted up at 21 apiece, 5:39 remaining in the first half. That's a handoff to Pearson. Pearson hit, keeps going, and taken down, gain of 4.
And once again, Michael Ferreira over there on the right side. He's doing a heck of a job coming up from his defensive back position.
Also out as a linebacker, Taylor Levesque. I noticed him in the previous possession. He was down on the bench, and he was making the paramedics laugh. So they came over just to give him a cursory check. He must have been coherent enough to crack a few jokes. He's out on the field.
At halftime, we'll try to get an update on Ryan Toteman, who went off the field earlier for the Falcons.
Not sure what this stoppage in play is. It looks like one of the River Valley coaches is having a talk with the head referee. I think this might be about the spot of the ball.
Or recipes.
You know, as a baseball player, I really don't know what the referees and coaches talk about. I can only speculate.
Well, the whole team now is coming over to the side. Clearly upset about something.
And let's not forget, this is a crisp night. Probably right around 50, possibly a little bit below. That's important for the teams to really keep their blood flowing. Don't get cramped up down on the sidelines. Conversation is still continuing, even though the head referee has backed off a good 15 yards. And looks like they actually moved the ball forward about a yard. So I believe that's the first time I've seen a coach-referee conversation have an effect. 2nd and 5 for the Falcons. Placer showing blitz. There's a handoff to Pearson. Pearson brought down nicely in open field. Just a 2-yard gain. That'll set up 3rd and 3. Third and short. 3 wide receivers. We'll see if this is a screen or a handoff. It is a handoff to Dante Love. Love taken down very close to the first down marker.
Let's see what they spotted. Maybe he stepped out of bounds right before the marker.
They're going to stop the clock, and they got the first down. They just got across the line.
Spread right, run left.
It was either that or a screen pass. It always is. First down for the Falcons on their own 30-yard line. Shotgun. Gould steps up, throws deep. Has a man and is just overthrown. Kyle Williams just had the edge over Michael Ferreira. And that is the second time tonight we've seen wide open receivers just missed on the long pass.
Second and long. 4 minutes on the clock.
Yeah, first down's really the situation where you want to unveil that play. And now you still have 2, maybe 3 plays to get across the first down line. Man in motion. Fake the handoff. There's Love. Love tries to get to the outside and does. And he is hit, slammed down about a yard shy of the first down marker.
Out there to make the stop again, number 44, Tyler Levesque.
Over at the Bear River game, Marty Mortensen getting the score update. 7-0 Red Bluff. Or Ripon, excuse me, Ripon. There's the 3rd and 3 play. And Placer jumps off sides.
Hard count freeze play. Pays off for the Falcons as they'll move the sticks.
That was a gutsy call on the defense. Placer was showing blitz even though River Valley had the trips wide. First play is a handoff to Love. Love cuts up the middle, has a hole, he gets up. 1 man to beat. He's going for the corner, and he is in. But we have a flag on the field.
Far sideline, there is a flag down.
And all of the referees are signaling for River Valley to stay down near midfield.
It's a hold. I believe the hold was right at the line of scrimmage where the hole opened up, Steve.
Well, here's the replay.
And look right there. He's holding.
Yeah, he spun all the way around. Logan Crawford got spun around. That flag was thrown by the far referee, who was so far away from the play, he had to hold the flag, wait till the play was over, and then run to where the penalty occurred to throw the flag in the specific spot. I've never seen that before.
But I'll tell you what, Dante Love, don't give him so much as a crack of daylight. He's going to exploit it.
I couldn't tell who the lineman was who spun around Crawford. And that takes away a touchdown for River Valley with 3:53 remaining in the half. And instead of a touchdown, they're facing 1st and 20 on their own 33-yard line. There's a fake handoff. Gould, run and gun. He has a man, and it's caught. Jack Rentz. Rentz caught by Robinson before finally finished off. Great catch. River Valley in the Placer red zone.
I got one word to describe this football game, and that's fun. Both of these teams have real good skilled players, and we're seeing an all-out fist fight here.
Don't blink or you'll miss a touchdown.
Right on.
First play is a handoff to Love. Love tries to cut back up the middle. He's wrapped up by about 3 Hillmen for a gain of 4. And let's take a look at this pass.
And he is wide open here, but getting that ball delivered to him, it's a little bit of a dead quail. Throws a lot of air under it. And misjudged by the defender. That was number 3, that's Joe Robinson. Robinson rallies, though, is able to come back and get the tackle, saving the score.
2nd and 7. There's a screen pass. Left side, Kyle Williams. Williams steps out of bounds. No, he's in. I heard whistles way before he crossed the goal line. They must have come from the River Valley bench as he is in for a touchdown, 27-21.
Another very athletic player on the River Valley Falcons, Robinson. Williams going in.
This time they go for the screen pass with 2 wide receivers on the far side. Juan Aguiano is back to kick, but there will not be a kick. And the referees are going to talk it over as to what exactly went wrong there. It is a false start against River Valley. So instead of a 20-yard kick, they will back it up 5 yards, and they will make it a 25-yard extra point.
You know, this could be significant, Steve. An extra point in a game like this can be the difference between a win and a loss. Both teams are scoring every other series.
I was taking a look at Juan Anguiano before the game. He was routinely putting them yards deep, and this is another good kick.
Yeah, it sure is.
And it didn't even look like he got all of it. I think he purposely put some lift on it just in case some Hillmen got close. So the Placer Title Company scoreboard updated once again. River Valley on top, 28-21. Placer has never had the lead in this game, as Placer has always had to answer the touchdown.
Here's the play, and you can see quick pass to the left on the sideline. Gets around the first tackler with just a touch, and just sheer effort and athleticism puts the ball over the cone for the touchdown. Williams, impressive player.
Placer Title Company scoreboard, River Valley 28-21 lead, 2:47 remaining in the second half. Placer will get to receive the second half kickoff.
It's a quick pooch kick.
This will be caught and knelt by Chris McDonald.
I'm not sure if that was supposed to be an onside kick or they were going to go for a quick recovery, but it didn't fool anybody. 2:46 left in the clock. Placer with great field position at their own 40.
Yeah, that's pretty significant. That really shortens up the field with 2:46 remaining, although neither team has taken a timeout tonight.
Nathan, you had a comment.
Late handoff to Kozad. Kozad's got room. Breaks one tackle. Almost. Gets down to the 35-yard line. He got hit and stumbled forward about 12 yards.
Half the defense went for the first man through, and so did I. I kept looking inside. I was completely fooled by the fake. All of a sudden, Kozad ripping one off on the left.
And finally, we have a timeout called by River Valley, first of the night, and it comes with 2:35 remaining in the second quarter. The Placer will figure out what they want to do. They have a considerably shortened field with 2:35 remaining. So we will step aside and come back with the first down play from the Hillmen on the touchdownproductions.com game of the week. Be back in 30 seconds.
Are you ready to buy or sell your home or property? Placer Title's your local title and escrow company located right here in the heart of Nevada County. We combine the stability of a national insurer with all the benefits of on-site title and escrow professionals. Being voted the best title company by the union readers for the past 7 years is a true testament to our local roots and unparalleled customer service. Stop by one of our 2 convenient locations and thank you for keeping your business local.
2:35 remaining in the second quarter here at Febvre Stadium. Placer has the ball on the River Valley 36-yard line. River Valley leads 28-21. Split backs for Placer. Hand off to Scott. Scott's going to try and get to the edge. Not a lot of room, but he gets there. He gets to the sidelines and is killed out of bounds. That is a big late hit as Scott got tackled on the track.
And they're going to give him 15 yards on that. Clearly hit after he'd gone out of bounds.
That's
Scott is down on the track out there.
Yeah, he is. He is in about the 4th lane. That's how late that hit came in. And he's up.
Yeah, he's up. It looks like he's going to be okay. That's not grass out there, friends.
Yeah,
and I'll tell you what,
you don't practice taking hits on that.
No.
So with the ball on the 22-yard line, this will be a half the distance to the goal penalty. That'll march him all the way down to the 11.
Gil, if we've got a chance to look at a replay on that, if we've got it. But this almost assures Placer of a score before half. 2:26 left. Both teams are just marching up and down the field. They're checking Scott over now.
Scott's probably just shaken up. As he's not even sitting on the bench. I think he'll be good to go for the next play if there is one. First down on the 11. And off to Kozad. Kozad tries to shoot up the middle, but a nice tackle by Jerry Lizalma White. That drops him at the line of scrimmage. Brings up 2nd and 10. Placer, in theory, could get to the 1-yard line and get a 1st and goal.
They also could score a field goal from here if it gets to that point.
Prieto is warming up on the sideline. 2nd and 10. Quick handoff to Halbert. Halbert scoots up the middle, and he's in for a touchdown.
Jared Halbert found himself a little crack of daylight and completely exploited it. Nobody touched him as he went right through the middle of the Falcon line. I'll tell you, the defensive linemen are shaking their head over there. Why nobody got him?
That was such a quick play to Halbert. Halbert.
It was bang, bang, and he was in.
Low snap, nicely handled. Almost blocked by Dante Love, but the kick is up and good to tie it up yet again. 28-28 with a minute 54 left. And Placer now has an opportunity.
This is going to be first one to 60 wins this football game. Watch this, Halbert, right there, dead up the middle. There's a great block by a number 52. Let's give some credit to Diego Lopez for opening up a little daylight. Albert taking it to the house.
This game reminds me of a video game you store whenever you want. This is crazy.
Placer Title Company scoreboard. How about that? 14 apiece for each team in each quarter. If Placer's defense can hold River Valley, and River Valley has a minute 54 to score with 2 timeouts, then Placer would at least have the opportunity to take the lead. Placer has only had 1 possession with a tie game. 2 if you count the opening possession on the fumble. There's a line drive kick. This time it will be converged. Some trouble picking it up on the 10. That's Clarence Pearson. Pearson shakes 1 tackle. Can't shake the second. He's brought down at the 23-yard line. And that may have actually worked better than a touchback for Placer, as that shaved off about 10 seconds. And it really only netted River Valley about 3 yards. Another score update from Marty Mortensen. Bear River scores on the first possession of the second half. 7-all. That really seems like a defensive struggle out there in Ripon.
That's not what we've got here. I wouldn't put odds against them scoring before a half here. Still got a minute 46.
And off to Love. Love will try and get to the sidelines, and he does after a short gain. Call it 2.5. That will, however, stop the clock at a minute 32. Oh no, he was brought down before he got out of bounds. So the clock will continue to run. They're only going to give him 1 yard on the run. So 2nd and 9, we're down to a minute 20.
Looks like they're in no hurry to score.
Gould steps up, looks like he's going deep. He has to roll out, pulls up, throws it away. And there's going to be a flag, as that ball did not get to the line of scrimmage. So intentional grounding will be 5 yards and a loss of a down.
They're discussing it over there, Steve. I don't know. They may pick this flag up. I think it did get past the line of scrimmage.
They're talking, they're pointing. They're pointing at where the different sticks are. Number 78, Simeon Engel, was on the pursuit.
They've got it sorted out, and they are going to call it a grounding.
So that'll be 5 yards, loss of a down. 3rd and 12. And Placer gets called for a hold. So that's what the referees were taking so long to determine.
So we're going to have a good old-fashioned do-over. 2nd down. Still 8 yards to go. The Falcons staring down a long field with a minute 7 left.
Yeah, just a minute 7. That's way more crucial to the Falcons right now. Fake handoff, Gould rolls right. Quick pass to Pearson. Pearson shakes 1 tackle and can't shake the 2nd. Nice tackle by Diego Lopez.
Diego is having himself a good game tonight. He's fired up, you can tell.
That brings up 3rd and 4, and you have to figure with 45 seconds, why not Placer take a timeout? They have all 3.
That's a good question, Steve.
They're content to just let this clock roll down. I think Placer wants to head into halftime at a 28-28 tie. That's an interesting decision.
Well, they certainly burned about 20 seconds, and if they could stop them here on 3rd down, they would be forced to punt.
And we have motion. Both teams are pointing at each other, but it looks like Placer pointed first.
And you may be right. That will stop the clock now with
start.
20 seconds left.
False start, 5 yards. That'll march them back to their original line of scrimmage. 20 seconds left. Clock will begin running now. And you really have to figure that River Valley can just run off the field right now. They're not gonna do anything. Oh no, they're gonna get to the line of scrimmage with 7 seconds. They're gonna try something. Everyone on Placer is running away. This is a quick handoff and tripped up. Again, that was Simeon Engel gets the tackle, and we will head into halftime. 28-all. Placer will take the opening kickoff. There's the Placer Title Company scoreboard. You can't play a closer football game than this here at Febvre Stadium, Placer High School. Marching band will take the field, and both teams will figure out how they're going to get any sort of an edge against each other. So when we come back, we will have second half football. Just 24 minutes left here at Febvre Stadium on the touchdownproductions.com game of the week. We'll see you in 30 seconds.
Hi, everybody. Gil Dominguez.
And Teresa Dietrich.
And we welcome Pioneer Motors to the NorCal Game of the Week.
Pioneer Motors is where you go for trucks. We have a huge selection of lowered, lifted, and four-wheel drive trucks.
At Pioneer Motors, we have a huge selection of all-wheel drive vehicles like Audi, Volvo, and Toyotas, to name a few. Looking for a fun car to drive? Come on down to Pioneer Motors and see our huge selection of Mini Coopers, hatchbacks, and luxury cars too.
Remember, it's Pioneer Motors right here in Grass Valley.
The best cars at the best prices with great friendly customer care.
With this huge selection, why go anywhere else?
Shop local.
Back here at Febvre Stadium, you see the Placer Title Company scoreboard. We have just a whale of a game going on. 14 by each team in each quarter, and that has us standing at 28-all. We also have a score update from Ripon. Bear River, after standing up Ripon at the 20-yard line, completed a 60-yard touchdown pass to Mastrella, and they followed that up with a 40-yard touchdown pass to Olena. Bear River has the lead 20-7.
And if you've ever been to Ripon Stadium, Steve, it is an imposing place to play football. Big, gigantic bowl, concrete on the side of the Ripon, and they come out from everywhere to go to those football games. If Bear River can sneak a win tonight, it would be saying something.
Especially with all their injuries, Paul. They haven't been healthy all year.
That's very true, Nathan.
So we're all set to kick off the second half. Placer will receive. Looks like another pooch kick. This one will be caught at the 30, and a pretty good return. Believe that was Jared Halbert who made that catch.
Not sure what exactly they're trying to accomplish with those pooch kicks.
Yeah, that was Jared Halbert. He caught it right on the 30-yard line and managed to put about a 13-yard return on it. Placer is actually ahead of the 40-yard line. So really, River Valley could have just kicked that ball out of bounds and saved themselves 7 yards and some time. So first play, hand off to Scott. Scott on the right side. He's got some room. And nice tackle by number 45, Sam Van Dusen, the middle linebacker for the Falcons. And that saved that run from becoming much, much longer. Just a 9-yard run. Just a 9-yard run, and that could have been much longer. With that, Placer is across midfield. They have a 2nd and 1. And off to Halbert. Halbert nicely wrapped up, single tackle. And that's going to be another Placer first down. That hit made by number 12, JoJo Penn.
You know, Jared Halbert wasn't getting too many touches earlier in the year, Steve, and he has gotten better every game we've seen him. He's getting stronger, and he's understanding his position, how he can get to that hole quicker.
In the wing tee, you really need 2 to 3 great runners. Another quick handoff to Halbert, and Halbert's got another first down.
See, just like that, he runs real low to the ground, very, very quick, and he's hard to bring down. Stronger than he looks. Follows his blocker right up the middle, and that'll be another first down, like you said. 3 plays later, Placer is threatening.
They're on the River Valley 28. Man in motion is Scott. Handoff goes to Scott. Not a lot of room on this near side, and he gets wrapped up just in front of the 20. Still a 7-yard gain. Placer getting excellent production.
The Falcons don't look like they're warmed up. They're not moving as fast as they were earlier. It's cold out here tonight, and they had to go into the end zone and have their halftime pep talk while the Hillmen went inside where it was warm.
2nd and 3. Quick handoff to Halbert. Halbert finds a hole, gets to about the 17-yard line. That's good for another Placer first down.
The ever-present Tatum Diamond in there on the tackle. I don't think I've given him enough credit tonight. Number 50, the outside linebacker for the Falcons. A lot of good skill players on this Falcons team.
Inside the River Valley red zone. This is a late handoff to Kozad. Kozad with a hole, and he's brought down at the 6. That's very close to a first down. He will be shy by about a yard. They'll call it 2nd and 1 on the 6. The least productive play on this drive has been 5 yards. Quick handoff to Halbert. Halbert nicely tackled by Ty Wynn on the inside. Still good for a first down, but that saved a touchdown at least temporarily. So 1st and goal on the 3.
Placer sidelines starting to make the noise.
Sidelines, the crowd. I think the crowd's just trying to warm themselves up, but it seems to be working for the team too. 1st and goal on the 3. And off to Halbert. Halbert runs low, tackled, hit, and in. And for the first time tonight, Placer has the lead.
But stay tuned. Don't hold your breath. This football game is going to be the first team to 60, Steve. Mark my words. 34-28 right now before the extra point.
And we have still yet to have a possession that didn't mirror the previous one. That is a kick that is very high, very good. Also worth noting, these teams are 9 for 9 on extra points, something you don't see too much in high school football.
Here's the replay. Nothing special here, straight inside. Albert just looking for the hole, following his blocker like he does. There's your Placer title scoreboard. First blood by the Placer Hillmen here in the 3rd quarter.
And for the first time tonight, River Valley trailing. They will have to answer the Placer possession, something they did not do a single time in the first half. During the halftime break, we saw kicker Andreas Prieto practicing his kickoffs. He was putting it from the 45-yard line almost through the goalpost, so we'll see how deep he can put this one. That is a good one. That will fly about 6 yards deep for a touchback.
I tell you, if you're a college coach, I'm sure there's a number of them in the stands tonight following the playoffs. Check out Pareto. This kid is just getting his stride. He'll be a fine kicker for some either junior college or Cal State College here next season you can watch.
He got good leg into that. Wind is completely died here.
And it's cold, so
very cold.
He darn near kicked it out of the stadium.
35-28, Placer lead. River Valley takes over on their own 20. And off to Love. Love tries to shoot to the outside, and he's brought down by Chris McDonald.
Placer coming out with some esprit de corps. They've got enthusiasm, energy, and clearly ready to play here in the second half.
That is a loss of 5 yards on the run. Check out Chris McDonald.
Straight handoff. and just nowhere to go. But you can see the penetration. McDonald says forget about it.
Also in on the tackle, Michael Ferreira. 2nd and 15. Rolling right. Nice toss, nice catch. That's Clarence Pearson. Pearson's still up, still up.
Holy cow.
Finally brought down at the 40. That is a 25-yard gain, and about 23 of those came after the catch.
You got to put these guys on the ground here and don't make the assumption that they're stumbling, they're going down. Pearson, as well as Love. JoJo Penn, we saw the same thing from him. These guys just don't go down easy.
1st and 10 on the Placer 41-yard line, or excuse me, the River Valley 41-yard line. Handoff to Love. Love gets a full head of steam. Runs in and out of the arms of Ryan Houston before being dragged out of bounds.
Tackling seems to be an issue for both teams currently.
And when it's cold, that is the hardest thing to do, is to get your hands on jersey. Mentioned before, Dante Love, 5'11", 170 senior. Not very big, but he is quite fast, and you can run out of an arm tackle as quickly as you can break it. 3 wide receivers on the far side, and it's a handoff, of course, to Love. Gain of just about 3.
Love lines up in the I position. He gets an extra couple of yards in the backfield, gets a big running start. Drives the offensive line forward with his momentum.
Haney will be a late substitution for Trentman. 2nd and 8. Again, 3 wide receivers. Another handoff to Love. Love breaks through the middle, keeps on going, and he is brought down hard at the 30-yard line. He is shy by about a yard.
That was Tyler Levesque.
Well, they're going to say this is half a yard short. 3rd and inches. Same exact play. Love just follows the line and is knocked backwards. But they will give him forward progress across the line for the 1st down. Another big 3rd down conversion for the Falcons. They haven't had too many of those. Just because they haven't had too many 3rd down plays.
Funny, I feel like this whole section is just ground and pound of all the teams I've seen. Not many passing teams.
And that's the wing T offense.
Good point.
And River Valley, kind of a mix. There's another screen pass. That's incomplete, and that may have been backwards. That is what everyone on this side of the bench is saying, although I don't see too many Placer coaches arguing, which would seem to be indicative of a forward incomplete pass.
Good crew tonight, Steve. Not too many penalties. Very well officiated.
Really the only call that we had no inclination existed was the unsportsmanlike conduct, but that can be verbal as well as physical. 2nd and 10 for the Falcons. On the Placer 28. Hand off to Love. Love wrapped up in the backfield. He'll be taken down just at the line of scrimmage. So that'll set up a 3rd and long for River Valley.
It'll be 3rd and 10, Steve, but the way both of these teams, both of the offenses can lop off 10 yards in a heartbeat. I'll be surprised if they pass the ball. I'll bet they stay on the ground.
We've seen a couple big pass plays, and this will be a pass. Gould pulls up, goes right side, fakes the pass, evades one tackle, gets a huge block to the outside. He's across the 1st down line and looking for more. Down to the 10, he's going to cut inside, and he's taken down just short on the 1-foot line. What a block in the backfield that opened the whole play up.
Avery Gould was just about the time you were about to shoot him and put him out of his misery. He finds a hole, cuts back across the field, gets a fantastic block, and darn near scores.
They have this marked on the half-yard line.
Replay.
Take a look at the block that's coming up right as he turns the corner.
Right there, bang! May have been a bit of a block in the back. Who knows? But
Mike,
look at the presence of mind he has to go for the end zone. Darn near gets in there.
High formation, handoff to Pearson. Pearson dives underneath.
No signal yet, but it looks like he's in.
Still, he's in.
Yep, he's in there.
River Valley continues tonight's trend of answering the previous possession's outcome, and they are in with the touchdown. Full credit to Avery Gould, who made a huge play out of certain disaster.
Guys, has there been a stop on defense in the last couple quarters at all?
There's been 2 punts in this game, one for each team.
Wow.
And they came back to back.
Jeez.
As everything in this game has been, it has come back to back. Good snap, good kick, good point.
This game could come down to an extra point. Wouldn't surprise me if.
5:14 left in the third quarter.
Placer Title Company scoreboard. River Valley ties it up 35-all.
Here's a replay of that big run again. Once again, we're going to see Avery Gould looking one way, finding nothing. Back across the field. Now you're going to see a block here. He fakes and gets his man in there like a basketball move. Circles back around, and right about now, boom! Holy moly!
I believe that it was Jack Farley who came up with the big hit.
Yeah, Avery's going to have to buy Farley dinner because, bottom line, he just gives him room now. Wide open field.
And the hit was on Simeon Engel.
Simeon doesn't remember a thing. Here's the kickoff.
That is a high spinning kick. That'll be caught at the 15-yard line by Joe Robinson. Robinson is going to get a pretty good edge. He's got to the sidelines, hops over one defender, and he will get to exactly midfield.
I'll tell you, the special teams play tonight for the Placer is really exceptional. We've seen good punt returns, and we've seen good kickoff returns all night long.
There was some extracurricular pushing and shoving. It looked like
number 67 and 52.
Yeah, Kyle Penny and Iran Acosta. There was a lot going on after that play. Placer will take over again on the 43-yard line. Fake handoff. Scott's got it. Scott has room on the outside.
He's gone.
He's across to the 40. He has one man to beat. He's going to pull up and get tackled inside the 15-yard line.
Same play we saw earlier in the half, Steve. Scott just taking it around, a great edge being set by that offensive line. Again, Logan Moore doing a great job, number 55, sealing it off.
That was a nice tackle by number 11, way to lower his shoulder to stop the touchdown.
Kyle Williams has been involved in a few offensive and defensive plays. As a handoff to Halbert. Halbert brought down. Nice suplex tackle at the 8-yard line.
Interestingly, they're giving the ball to Halbert inside when they get in the red zone here. You would think they'd go to Kozad, being the strong, physical runner he is, but I guess you don't fix something that ain't broken, and right now Halbert is getting a lot of yards between the tackles.
And all credit goes to the line. The line is not only opening up holes, but buying time for those misdirection plays. If one defender gets through, it's all over. And we have a lot of flags. This could be offsides. This could be lining up in the neutral zone, judging by when the whistles were called. This will be lining up in the neutral zone on Placer. So that's 5 yards back. That brings up 2nd and 11.
Maybe they've got to try something on the outside. I would certainly leave the ball on the ground. You're having great success on the ground. I can't imagine they're going to throw it.
Late end around play to Scott. Scott pulls up. Nice tackle by number 32, Ty Wynn. That's the second time we've called his name. That makes it 3rd and call it 8 inside the red zone. This is the first time Placer has really faced a 3rd and long tonight.
Interesting possession right here, Steve, because it's definitely 4th down territory. And it would be the first time that either team was stopped in the red zone if Placer can't score. They got 2 plays.
It's to Scott. Scott cuts up the middle, bowls over one, and is just short. He is on the 1-yard line. I believe this will set up 1st and goal on the 1.
Yes, it is, and they will move the marker, so they'll have 4 plays.
And I have a hard time picturing River Valley stopping Placer on 4 consecutive plays. .35 is the score. The clock has stopped for some reason. Must have gone out of bounds. Quick handoff to Halbert. Halbert tries to bounce to the outside, falls forward, and he's not in. The signal is he is short. So River Valley's got 1 stop.
I'd be surprised if they didn't give it to a big fullback.
Well, they've got 3 running backs out there. Kozad, Halbert, and Scott. Down under 3 minutes now, and we have a flag come flying in from the far line judge.
And they're...
Looks like this is going to be a false start. No, it's not. It's another encroachment on Placer. So that will back them up to the 6-yard line. Suddenly, this is a makeable stop for the Falcons. Clock continues to run down. We're at 2:30 remaining. There's the handoff. That's Scott, and Scott's in. Finally, Owen Scott manages to catch the edge, and he strolls in without being touched. Placer on top once again.
Great move by Owen Scott. Scott just waiting, being very patient, letting that thing develop, and then just going for the cone. Got just what he needed to get in the end zone.
Prieto with the kick. Prieto with the good extra point.
Here's a replay on that. Watch Scott. He's a very graceful runner. He's strong, he's powerful, got speed, but he's got his head up. He's going to follow his blockers right on through, and look at that. Big number 71, Jacob Capra. You don't think Jacob's going to go play at a big-time school next year. You can bet on it.
That's a good point, Paul. He has a full ride to Oregon already.
There's the Placer Title Company scoreboard. Placer on top once again, 42-35. Quick shout out to the kickers. 11 straight extra points made in this game. That's something you don't see very often.
And Nathan, I didn't know he had a full ride to Oregon. I'll tell you, the Oregon Ducks are going to get themselves a real treat there. He could even start as a freshman.
Oh, absolutely, Paul. He just plows people. He's incredible.
I really wish we had the height and weight of the Placer players. That would be, I'm sure, some imposing numbers.
Big and big.
That's really all you have to know if you see 71 coming at you. 42-35, 2:38 remaining in the 3rd quarter. And the kick from Prieto. That is another long one. And that will sail 2 yards deep. Oh, another touchback. That's 2 for 2 in the second half for Prieto.
18 points. First one to 60 wins this game, Steve, I'm telling you.
Paul, you certainly might be right.
I tell you what, I don't see any reason why not.
I think this game is going to come down to whoever has the ball last. This could be a field goal as time expires. It could be. I tell you what, this game won't be over until the final minute. There's a screen pass. That's caught by Penn. Penn wrapped up in the backfield, and this is going to be a loss. And there is a flag well away from the ball. That is Gabe Woodson on Ryan Houston.
some pushing and shoving going on there.
That was a good 15 yards away from the play.
Let's see what this is, if it's going to be on Placer or if it's going to be on River Valley.
I mean, Houston didn't look like he was instigating at all. He had his hands up trying to draw attention to it. This might just go against River Valley.
Well, I got to tell you, a penalty in this area of the field, it'll be a face mask. So that's going to be 15 yards in, and that's going to back them way up. If they have to punt the football, Placer's going to get it back in great field position. It'll be second down now and 20.
This will actually be half the distance since they were inside the 30-yard line, and that was very intentional.
So you're looking still at about 18 yards, huh, Steve?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And the referees are going to call a timeout just to figure out what half the distance is. I'm sure one of the referees will have a calculator, or maybe they'll just need to borrow someone else's fingers to count up that high. Looks like they're going to spot this at the 12-yard line.
We're going to have to talk about the player of the game coming up here. We're at the beginning of the fourth quarter shortly, and we will talk about the Bill Slade & Sons Trucking player of the game. Very significant trophy because it's a playoff game.
There's definitely some players that
I kind of like Capra, to tell you the truth. We haven't given it to Jacob this year.
That's funny. I was thinking Taylor Levesque. He's been very active.
Absolutely true. I think it's going to be a defensive player.
No, definitely, Paul and Steve. Capra has also been huge, as Paul was saying, but so is number 20.
Jared Halbert, yeah.
Yeah, Halbert's been.
On 1st and 18, we have a clean tackle. Maybe not a clean tackle, as there's a flag that came in. That certainly might be. I
think it's a face mask.
Might be a face,
yeah,
an incidental face mask.
So they may get back again. No, it's going to be on
a hold.
River Valley.
And they're inside the 20, so this will be another half the distance. And oh no, Placer is saying decline, decline, decline. Half the distance from there would only be about 6 yards.
So take the down.
It'll actually be a gain of just 2 yards. So from 1st and 18 to 2nd and 16.
Got a split left formation. Look for that screen pass.
Gould's going to pass. He's going to scramble, and he's going to be knocked down by Logan Crawford. Gain of just 1 yard. I'll give him 2 yards. That's still 3rd and 13 that they're looking at. Inside their own 20-yard line.
I'm sensing a pass play, Paul.
Well, they attempted one right there. Here's the replay.
Nice coverage by the Hillmen. It's 3rd down now and just about 13.
They fake the screen, and there is Logan Crawford. Great open field tackle. Avery Gould couldn't juke his way out of that. It is 4th and forever on the River Valley 6.
We have mentioned virtually every defensive player tonight. They're all having a big game. Logan Crawford, I remember him several games back having a splendid football game, and tonight, 2 big plays.
He came into the backfield completely unblocked. There was a flag on the play. It was another River Valley hold, which was obviously declined.
Well, the first team that blinks is going to lose, and we may have seen it here. River Valley is going to punt the football, but
from deep in their own end zone.
Yeah, Placer's going to have great field position.
There's the rugby-style punt, got some top spin. And this will be bobbled. River Valley recovered it.
Oh, just when you thought they had something going.
Wow.
It hit him right in the chest. Bounced right off.
Oh, that's got to hurt.
I believe that was Stephen Blevin, who was quick down the field. That ball had a lot of topspin on it. That's the benefit of a rugby-style kick, is it's hard to catch, and if it hits the ground, it will roll forward.
It will, and look, watch him. He gets that kick away. You watch the kicker, and watch it. It hits him right in the chest. He needs to fall on that ball, and he just doesn't have a chance to do it.
There was a flag on the play, which is being picked up.
Open mic.
And River Valley gets the benefit of a Placer fumble.
Well, Paul, it looks like they can blink now.
That will be very hard to duplicate, I will say that. But we may have just seen an end to the exact repeats. Gould fakes the handoff, throws to the receiver who falls, JoJo Penn. That will stop the clock at 39 seconds. Well, Gould gets a pass off. That was the third straight pass attempt that River Valley had.
But you know, let's face it, Steve, the Placer defense is holding right now.
Absolutely.
They're doing a better job, and this Falcons offense has stalled by virtue of the turnover.
There's trips wide. Handoff, Love. Love hit in the backfield, brought down.
Another great tackle. Who is that out there? It looks like it's, that was number 2.
Ryan Houston.
Ryan Houston coming up and taking down Dante Love.
Down to 15 seconds remaining. 3rd and 9 for the Falcons. Snap this ball with 5 seconds. Fake the handoff.
There's a hole.
Rolling left. He will take it himself. He's pushed out of bounds. I think he is short. And he is. He's short 2 yards.
Big number 78.
Oh, that's Engel.
Engel. And we saw Engel really step his game up last week, but he was clearly held. No flag on the field. But it still will bring up 4th down, and there's going to be a decision that's going to be made by Coach Brennan McFadden now. Watch the replay.
It looks like, yeah, just a good tackle.
So they're going to go to the sideline and discuss this. 4th down now and about 3 yards.
And that is the end of the 3rd quarter. Finally, a quarter where the score is unbalanced. 14-7, Placer finally gets the edge. Heading into the 4th quarter, we will step aside here on the TouchdownProductions.com Sports Network Game of the Week. We've got a nail biter here at Lefevre.
No one's going anywhere.
Your car is one of the most important assets you own. And Reeby's Auto Parts is dedicated to helping you keep it in tip-top condition. Reeby's Auto Parts is a family-owned and operated business since 1956. We have a friendly and knowledgeable staff, and as a Napa Auto Parts dealer, you're sure to find the right part you need from either of our 2 Nevada County locations. You can always count on Reeby's to be there when you need us. It's Reeby's Auto Parts in Nevada City and Grass Valley.
4th and 2 for the River Valley Falcons. They trail the Placer Hillmen 42-35. And they are in the I formation. Now no longer. Here's the 4th down play. Neither team has a turnover on downs. They try the hard count and call a timeout. Placer wasn't fooled.
And they were ready for it. That's just good coaching. On the sideline, they said, watch the hard count.
So with no play from scrimmage in the 4th quarter, River Valley forced to take the first time out of the 2nd half. We'll step aside, but we'll be back in 30 seconds on the Game of the Week.
Magnuson's Toyota and Scion is celebrating 25 years serving you in the foothills. Right now, Magnuson's carries the first all-electric SUV, and they're still the home of the Toyota Tundra. Magnuson's Dodge Chrysler Jeep is right down the street and features the new Ram diesel truck, Jeep Wranglers, and Grand Jeep Cherokee. It's Magnuson's Auburn Toyota and Magnuson's Dodge, both in Auburn.
Back at Febvre Stadium, River Valley still facing that 4th and 2. They might go with the hard count again.
No. They're going to drive this ball. They're going to use their big back. right there, and they're not going to get it.
Look
Placer's
at
got him
that.
bottled up.
Loss of 2 yards. Placer forces the first turnover on downs of the game.
And boy, you'd think they just won the football game, still 12 minutes on the clock. But that's one of the first significant stops of the game by the Placer defense.
Absolutely, Paul. This has not been much of a defensive game. But Placer finally steps it up and pushes the offensive line back. First hit made by Ryan Houston. Ryan Houston is one of Placer's safeties. He came a long way to make that first hit, and Placer takes over in River Valley territory. Late handoff to Kozad. Kozad hit and finally dragged down by number 18, Stephen Blethen, who, don't forget, recovered. That's number 12, JoJo Penn.
Penn's been all over the place tonight. He's speedy little back.
He does get around, and that was a good hit. Just hold on, grabbed in the jersey of Kozad. And Kozad might need to see a tailor after the game tonight. 2nd and 10 for Placer. That's 2 fake handoffs. Finally, Andy steps up, has a man, and overthrows him. That was Xavier Lovelace.
Lovelace stopped his pattern. He slowed way down, waited for that football. He just needed to keep running because he overthrew him thinking he was going to keep going.
And we have a referee timeout. JoJo Penn is down right on the 40-yard line. This looks like a leg cramp.
Yeah, it looks like a cramp.
Just based on his posture.
He didn't even put a hand. Number 8 didn't even put a hand up to go for the ball.
Now that pass was a good 4 yards beyond his reach.
Yeah.
And now they're going to stretch out the hamstring. And we have the final score over at the Bear River Ripon game. 20-7, Bear River. Bear River moves on to the 2nd round of the playoffs.
You know, Steve, I've been doing this for about 7-8 years now. I don't recall a team ever going to Ripon and getting a win. This may be a first. Bear River, I have followed a number of teams there, especially in the early years. And Ripon does not give up losses very often at home in the playoffs.
And Bear River's defense, a little suspect coming into that game, giving up, what was it, 35 points to Lincoln the week before?
That will be a fun bus ride home.
Well, JoJo Penn is walking gingerly. Doesn't look like his right hamstring unlocked. So he's probably going to be massaged on the sidelines, and into the game comes Anthony Calderon.
That's a big loss. JoJo Penn, significant player and skill player on that team.
Well,
I think he'll be back.
Placer still facing a 3rd and 10.
Defense is stepping up for sure.
And if you're Placer, you want to at least get a field goal to go up by more than 1 possession. And he steps up. Line drive caught by Robinson. Robinson cuts back, and a huge tackle by Kyle Williams. And there are going to be many, many flags for many, many late hits.
Kyle Williams gets a little bit dicey at the end of the play. Made himself a good tackle, no doubt, but decided to celebrate
a lot
at the expense, at the expense of the Hillman player. Watch this excellent pass, dart right into the hands on the sideline. Robinson makes a good move. Now let's watch the extracurricular after the tackle. Good tackle, of course, but he gets up and decides to give it a little more. No need for that.
So the call on the field will be another unsportsmanlike conduct. And the referees were talking it over, and I believe they gave serious thought to an ejection. It doesn't look like the case.
Well, I'll tell you what, if Placer can get in the end zone from here, it's definitely a leg up on this football game.
Well, that penalty occurred on the 18-yard line, so that'll be a half the distance penalty. Placer gets a 1st and goal on the 9. And Placer, let's not forget, has not been stopped on a drive since the first quarter. Hand off up the middle to Halbert. Halbert tripped up. A little pushing and shoving afterwards between Logan Moore and Austin Schaffer. Or excuse me, between Moore and Jack Farley. Just a little. Second and goal on the 5. So we may have to watch the frustration of River Valley, which has been in this game all night. Late handoff to Scott. Scott breaks free, he's in!
Owen Scott scoring yet again. 3 touchdowns tonight for Owen. 48-35 on the scoreboard. Extra point soon to be made by Placer.
And the first time tonight either team has pulled ahead by more than 7. And we will have flags before the extra point, which is rarely a good thing. But the second time tonight, that's something you don't usually see one of. This will be illegal substitution on River Valley. That will push the ball forward a yard. Someone jokingly saying go for 2, but somehow I don't believe that's going to happen. No, Prieto, the penalty is declined for some reason. I mean, why not take the extra 3 feet, but what do I know? The kick is up and good. 49-35 with 10:17 left in the fourth quarter. Placer on top. You see the Placer Title Company scoreboard. What a game, Paul.
Here's a replay here. We'll watch it straight up the middle. Little delay, but just some good hard running by Owen Scott. We've watched him develop as a player all year long. Owen, the senior, he was an all PVL selection, as were 14 players on this Placer team this year.
That is very impressive.
Wasn't it, though? Well, I believe at last count there were 5 players that had signed with major colleges and made commitments.
Placer Title Company scoreboard. Yet again, Placer strikes first in the fourth, as they did in the third. They go up 49-35. Nice long kick, and that will be caught a yard deep. Well, almost caught a yard deep.
Well, let me tell you something, Steve Sitter. This game is far from being over. There's 10 minutes left on the clock.
Placer's
and if Placer,
but it's sharp though.
They need to stay at this intensity that they have been at in the last quarter.
River Valley has shown they're not a grinding team. They grind out the first downs just to buy time for their big touchdown plays. They are not a grinding offense a la Placer.
No, they're really not. Dante Love can score from any place on the field, and he's proven it tonight.
3 wide. There's the play. It is a handoff. It always is. And a nice hole opens up for Love. Love brought down well beyond the first down line. And
we're getting word that
next week, we've just heard, we'll play Capital Christian down in Sacramento next week.
Wow.
First down for River Valley on their own 31-yard line. Again, 3 wide. Another handoff up the middle. Love lowers his head and gets about 2 yards. He fought hard for those 2 yards.
JoJo Penn has yet to come back on the field. I haven't seen JoJo back. Number 12. Maybe I see him now just coming back on the field. And number 12 is now split out here to the right, so looks like he's worked out his cramps.
2nd and 7. And the ball's fumbled at the line, picked up by number 20, Clarence Pearson, and Pearson makes a great play out of it. That was not the way it was drawn up. I don't think they had a fumble-rooski in their playbook coming into Placer tonight, but that was a great gain by Clarence Pearson.
Yeah, Pearson really on his game to see that ball and then just keep running with it. I'm not sure any of the Placer players actually knew there was a fumble.
River Valley marches into Placer territory on the 48-yard line. 3 wide receivers. This is another handoff to Love. Love cuts back up the middle, keeps his legs moving, and he will get ahead to about the 44-yard line.
River Valley now playing with some urgency. You see the Falcons. They got their offense going.
This is a 2-possession game. We're down below 9 minutes, still plenty of time. River Valley did use a timeout to start the 4th quarter, going for a 4th down hard count. And off to Love. Love full head of steam, hit. Gets about 3 yards. That'll bring up 3rd and short. And we're seeing a change in the running style of Dante Love. Before, he was waiting for holes to open up. Now he is running full bore into the Placer line and just grinding out the short yardage gains. 3rd and 3. 3 wide receivers. Hand off, and we have a flag. And this is going to be a false start on the Falcons. 3rd and 3 turns into 3rd and 8.
Clock is on the side of the Hillmen now. They're looking at this at 8 and 11 left. I'm thinking this is 2-down territory.
2-possession game. I think you might be right, Paul. Still have the 3 wide receivers. And this will be a screen pass. Over to Pearson. Pearson has great blocking. Cuts back up the middle. He's got the 1st down.
One thing about Pearson is he's not a real truck you over guy. He's actually pretty shifty.
Pearson listed at 5'11", 210. Which I think might be a tad generous, but he does have a lot of power behind his running ability.
Yes, he does.
So it's 1st down now on the 32-yard line. We've said it before. Here's Pearson on the replay, and you'll see just nothing but a good catch and some power. Nobody really had a chance to get him until he had already gotten the 1st down.
3 wide receivers near side. And this is a fake handoff, finally something different. Loads of room for Gould. Gould streaks up the middle and slides down for a good 9-yard gain. That was actually very close
to a late
hit as he took the slide and still got tackled by Jacob Capra. I'm sure that'll mess with your psyche a little bit.
Great presence of mind for Avery Gould. Saw that was nothing happening, looked over both sides of the field, saw nothing, decided to go get it for himself.
2nd and 2, 3 wide receivers. And this is the handoff to Love. Love lowers his head, and he will plow forward for 4 yards.
You know, I like the strategy here, Steve. They've got a ball control game going now. They're using Love and controlling the ball, grinding it out on the ground, taking some time off that clock, not really so concerned about being down by a couple of scores.
And no matter what, River Valley has to stop Placer. Either that or get an onside kick, which I wouldn't count on. Hand off to Pearson. Pearson tries to get to the outside and nicely brought down by Chris McDonald.
Talk about a size difference. Pearson is no small man, and McDonald came up there and just popped him.
Yep, got a good hand on the jersey right around the chest level and slid to the ground. That's a good tackle strategy if you're overmatched. 6 minutes remaining. Hand off to Pearson. Pearson blows up one lineman, and look at McDonald driving forward, getting that tackle again. This is very close to the 1st down marker, and it will look like they've got it. Referee is looking expectantly. No, they'll be short by about an inch. I'm actually a little surprised they're not going to measure. Those sticks are very close together. So 3rd and 1 inside 5.5 minutes. Placer jumped. Another hard count.
And not only does it get them the first down, it stops the clock. Just exactly what the doctor ordered for River Valley.
That's a great play by River Valley to try to outsmart them, and it worked.
Twice it's worked tonight. Once it hasn't. That was the cause of the one timeout they took. So they have 1st and goal on the 5-yard line. 3 wide receivers. And off to Pearson. Pearson nicely tackled by Michael Ferreira.
Ferreira diving in there, submarining, getting Pearson before he can make any headway. 2nd down.
And we have an injured Falcon yet again. And this might be just another leg cramp, as it looks like he is holding his left leg up in the air just a bit. And we'll have the trainer rushing out there. The paramedics slowly make their way out there. And as the players clear the field, we will also take a short break, but we'll be back in 30 seconds on the touchdownproductions.com game of the week. Under 5 minutes left here at Febvre Stadium.
It's time to visit the newly remodeled B&C True Value Home and Garden Center. The new B&C has completely changed for your shopping convenience. Their new expanded garden center has everything you need, including expert advice on trees, shrubs, and perennials. Check out their new website and the new spring hours. And thank you for voting B&C the best hardware and building supply in 2012. So start right, start here at B&C True Value Home and Garden Center.
Out there.
Back at Febvre Stadium, they're still taking a look at the injured Falcon. We do not have a number, as they are very much crowding around him. And it looks like he's being helped up now. So he is up. This might be more serious than a cramp, but at least it's...
Have we got a number out there yet, Steve?
It looks
53?
Like 53 would be Angel Castillo, the senior guard. And a name we have not called tonight.
Every second off the clock now is benefiting.
It's actually 52.
Is it?
That's Iran Acosta, a name we have called a few
bet.
times tonight. That's a big loss at the guard position. Clock starts running. We're under 4:45 now in the 4th quarter. River Valley really needs to start moving with some urgency in this 2-possession game. 49-35, Placer leads. And in motion, Gould rolling left. It's a quarterback draw. He cuts back to the inside, and he is short.
It's time for River Valley to go into the offense that can bang these plays out a little faster. They're going back to the huddle with how much care about the clock.
Placer wants the clock to run, and now it does. That saved River Valley a few seconds.
Not getting in the end zone cost them 30 seconds.
3 wide receivers, Pearson in the backfield. And Pearson jumped. Pearson absolutely jumped on that play.
That's killer.
And that backs them off from 3rd and goal on the 1 to 3rd and 6. Brian Stanglin is trying to pump up the crowd, which is a little slow to respond. Well, the clock now rolling. 4 minutes remaining. And in motion is Love. It's a pitch play to Pearson. And Pearson stopped.
They stuffed Pearson before he could get back to the line of scrimmage.
4th and goal.
And he stayed in bounds, so the clock continues to run. This 4th down play, Steve, pretty much the ball game.
Yeah, this is definitely the ball game.
Just about. So here it comes, 4th and goal on the 6. Pearson, the lone back. Fake the handoff. Gould rolling right. Gould. He's going to try and go for it himself, and he's out of bounds. Short.
And they know it here at Placer. Celebrating like they've already won the football game, which they have not, but a significant stop.
River Valley still has 2 timeouts, and there's still 3 minutes remaining in this contest. For River Valley to have a chance, they need to pin Placer deep in their own end, use essentially both their timeouts to keep a reasonable amount of time, a quick score, and an onside kick now. Unlikely, I admit, but still possible. It's Friday the 13th, Paul. Anything can happen.
Placer cannot get conservative here, Steve. They cannot go with a 3 and out.
No, absolutely not. They need to get some production. And someone jumped. I believe that was River Valley.
Hard count right there. It'll give them 5 more yards.
And back them out of their own end zone, essentially.
River Valley's just killing themselves right now. It's rough.
And that 5 yards may not be very much. But when you're essentially in your own end zone, that is a lot of breathing room. That is one stuffed run short of a safety. 1st and 5 on their own 7. River Valley a bit scrambling getting to the line. Scott's going to go to the outside, and Scott's got the edge. He is all the way down to the 50. There is no one even 10 yards away from him. 20, 10, touchdown Owen Scott.
And the Placer Hillmen are going to advance to the 2nd round of the playoffs. 55-35 to score on the scoreboard. Celebrated by the fans and the train behind us.
It's like the train knew it was happening. What a terrific block.
The offensive line of Placer, after the first quarter, came alive, sealed off edges, opened up holes, did whatever they had to do to get their running backs in the end zone.
Well, Paul, 55 is it. You were close.
56 now.
56. And this game is not over yet. Placer scoring with 2:49 left. Owen Scott, what was that, 85 yards?
83, or 93.
93 yards, and boy, I'll tell you what, he got around that right side, and we watched Owen Scott leg it out, absolutely beating everybody.
Placer Title Company scoreboard. Placer Hillmen, 14 points in every quarter. You're not going to lose too many ball games putting up 56 points.
No, they're not, and that's why Owen Scott won PVL MVP this year. You can see it right there.
Deservedly so. Midway through this run, not even midway through, once Scott gets to the corner.
The replay. Watch it, Steve. Here is the essence of Owen Scott. Now, he gets a great block, but he basically, and look at the blocking. He's got to hand that to his outside. First, he got a block, I believe, that was Waylon Kozad. That was out in front of him. Thing of beauty.
There's the kick. Prieto will get this in the end zone one more time. Honestly, though, I think I'd like to see him kick another line drive just to get some more time off the clock.
Okay, one more time. Now watch the blocking out in front. And unfortunately, we can't see the numbers. I believe that is Waylon Kozad. But look at him lock up on those defenders.
I think that was Kozad on Kyle Williams. And it looks like we have a
thing of beauty.
Stoppage on the field. Just getting the football switched out. Now River Valley will have possession on their own 20. 2:49 remaining in the 4th quarter. Gould steps up, flushed out, pulls up, nice move to get into the open field. He's going to cut back up the middle. He's still on his feet. He's going to pull up again and finally get brought down at the Placer 43-yard line, and flags go flying.
Nobody told Avery Gould that they're down by 20 points with 2 minutes left. He was looking for the end zone.
Flags went up like bottle rockets at the end of that play. And the referees trying to keep control of this game before it gets a little ugly down there. So we have one referee running to grab a flag near the sideline. The other referees, they're writing something down. This might be a player ejection.
I think so, Steve. I saw a push after the play was over.
Well, we'll see what the head referee's call is. And this will be marched away. And a sideline infraction. That's what they were writing down. So it will be unsportsmanlike conduct against someone on Placer and a sideline infraction. So the sideline infraction will be a warning. Subsequent violations will be enforced penalties. Gould steps up, throws for the end zone. He's got a man, and it is caught. What a catch!
Holy cow! What
Wow.
a wonderful pass and catch.
Right over the shoulder. That was incredible.
So
That was placed perfectly. Michael Ferreira was on the coverage.
That was nice coverage, too.
What a catch in the corner of the end zone.
Steve Sitter, people are streaming out of the stadium.
They
Everybody thought that Placer pretty much had this thing in the bag, and they may still have it.
That was caught by Dante Love, who had been very quiet this entire half. And it's a fake. I'm not exactly sure what the point of this is.
No, I'm not either.
Nicely broken up, though, by Ryan Houston. Why would you go for two?
I'm not sure.
And we have whistles. We have a lot of whistles.
What was the thinking on the coach's mind to go for two there? I'm not sure.
There is.
It's a three-score game.
There is none. I have no idea why they did that. The only possible explanation I can think of is that they were going to get 2 more touchdowns and win by 1. And this will be unsportsmanlike conducts. Actually, it just looks like 1 unsportsmanlike conduct against Placer. So they've got another chance at the extra point, I guess, if that's what they want to go for.
I'll bet they kick it.
It's the extra yard that makes the difference, really. No, are they going to back this up? Everyone is.
No, they're going to call it incomplete.
No, I guess they're going to offset the penalties. So the first extra point, 2-point conversion attempt is no good for River Valley. Defended excellently by Ryan Houston. There's the Placer Title Company scoreboard. I hope you don't like numbers divisible by 7 because there is a 6 on the scoreboard now. River Valley putting up 6 on that play.
Let's watch this replay on this pass. It is a beautifully thrown, beautifully caught pass over the left-hand shoulder. I don't think they were looking for a pass play like this, but that is just as good as it gets. River Valley is not giving up.
So they will actually call the unsportsmanlike conduct after the 2-point conversion attempt. So they will march the ball 15 yards forward on this kickoff. And this will have to be an onside kick attempt with 2:21 remaining. Placer doesn't really look like they're stacking the line with their hands unit. They do have Joe Robinson up on the front. And Corey Young, who is a running back. There's the attempt right at Joe Robinson, who immediately goes down. 2:20 left.
And a big flag comes in from nowhere.
Oh, of course it does.
Unsportsmanlike probably on the part of the Falcons. Let's see what the call is.
That's right where
Robinson went down.
Yeah, that's right where Robinson went down. This might be unsportsmanlike late hit. This is after the play. Personal foul. So that will more than likely be a late hit. Placer will march 15 yards further down the field.
Once Robinson goes to the ground like that, covers the ball, he's not fair game. They have to blow the whistle and stop it. He must have taken a hit after he's on the ground.
Yeah, that's about the only thing I can think of, too. So Placer will have the ball on their own 48-yard line, up 56-41. River Valley still has 2 timeouts. That's a quick inside handoff to Jared Halbert, and Halbert will be stopped 4 yards into his run. Pretty good run. Clock continues to wind down. We're at the 2-minute mark. River Valley not taking a timeout, which is a questionable decision. Second and 6. Hand off to Kozad. Kozad cuts back up the middle, nicely tackled by JoJo Penn, who is down on the ground, and he is helped up by a couple of Hillmen, by the 2 running backs, Halbert and Scott, as a matter of fact. And that's a first down for Placer. Momentarily stops the clock, which now continues to run. Minute 30, and if River Valley's not taking a timeout here, you have to figure that they've thrown in the towel.
Down by 2 scores, I can understand it.
Personally, if it's me, it's the postseason. You got to try. You have to try. You owe it to your team to do all you can.
They're going to take a knee now, though. This game is over. Clock is winding down. Minute 8. First down. They're going to let the clock tick down to the very last, and then they're going to take a knee. So the Placer Hillmen will score a victory here in postseason for the first time in 3 seasons. Last year with that disappointing loss here in this stadium, these fans tonight were treated to a wonderful football game.
It was the shootout we expected 2 weeks ago when Lincoln came to town, only realized this River Valley team fought tooth and nail. They were in this game
all the way to the end.
Pretty much all the way to the end.
Yeah, and you know what great skill players they brought with them. We saw Dante Love, Avery Gould, JoJo Penn, Clarence Pearson at the end. These were excellent, exceptional athletes.
Now
they can hold their heads up.
Hey, see the Placer Title Company scoreboard. Placer defeating River Valley as time expires here at Febvre Stadium. 56-41. Paul, you are almost right. Placer almost got 60. One more possession, they'd have gotten there. So let's talk player of the game. We have, 8, 9 contenders here?
Steve Sitter, my partner and good friend, this is our last football game of the season. I'm going to let you pick. There's so many people. We could give it to the entire defense of the Placer Hillmen.
We can give it to the entire offensive line of the Placer Hillmen.
And, you know, we've given it to Owen Scott. We've given it to Kozad. Golly, I really don't have a player that I can say significally impacted the game. The entire team had a good game.
Absolutely. I mean, you can make a convincing case for Owen Scott with especially that big run to ice the game. That was huge on the 7-yard line.
He's the PVL player of the of MVP. You can certainly give it to him. And you can make, people like Diego Lopez. You can talk about Jacob Capra.
Logan Crawford,
my goodness, there's so many great players, and I don't mind naming names. Joe Robinson tonight. What a great game Joe had tonight. So
tough game for a wide receiver to really make a name for himself, though, with that ground attack of Placer. Honestly, I think we give it to Logan Crawford. He was fantastic in the second and third quarters, and that's really what made the game.
Let's do it. We're going to give it to Logan Crawford.
Number 31, tight end and defensive end. Great game.
Logan, congratulations. We're going to come down and find you, hand you the beautiful trophy that you will have for the rest of your life. Number 31, Logan Crawford.
So the Placer alma mater song being sung at the end of another Placer Hillmen victory. What's that, 11 in a row?
Yes, sir.
What a year. What a year to be a Hillman.
Steve Sitter, it's been a pleasure doing football with you again this season. You're such a pleasure to work with and such a talent. We may go to Capitol next weekend. If so, we'll have one more, but if not, thanks for being my partner again this season.
Paul, there's no one I'd rather hang out with on a Friday the 13th than you. I can safely say that.
Executive producers Gilbert M. Dominguez. Gilbert, thanks for letting us play in your sandbox. Camera operators Callahan King, Brian Wells, and Joan Lyons. It's been cold tonight, guys. Thanks for showing up. Announcers Steve Sitter and me.
Yeah, don't forget Nathan.
Nathan Thompson was here. Yeah, he was. Commander 2 is the remote facilities. Commander 2 is warm and cozy for Gil Dominguez. Plaza Tire and Auto Service. And Reeves Auto Parts. Cinto Graciano.
Now known as the Cinto Group, LLP.
Contact us, touchdownproductions.com. Give us a shout. Tell us how good we're doing or not. And for all of us here at Touchdown Productions, we want to thank you for joining us this football season.
So for Paul Brown, Gil Dominguez, the rest of the crew, I'm Steve Sitter. We'll see you next time here at the touchdownproductions.com Game of the Week.